Everybody, welcome back to the shop, to our lovely weekly Sunday chats, where we wind down a little bit in the workshop, have a cup of tea, and have a talk. Pull up a chair, relax, get your kettle brewing. Let's just have a nice little conversation. Let me fix the camera though. My goodness, what is this, amateur hour? Oh, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, get out of here. But it's so good to see you all. Welcome back. Yeah, and I'm just excited to have a little chat. Just wrap things up with the tea timers as always. But about to dive into another, obsession of mine, which is flywheels. Centrifugal motion and all this stuff, and how to charge mass with movement and energy. Hey Jerry, how we doing, guys? Oh, great to see you all. But so when it comes to flywheels and gyroscopes and things like that, I ordered a bunch of gyroscopes. And they're super cheapos because I'm gonna use a couple for some science experiments. Science for me, I'm sure these things have already been far discovered, but how many of you know what a gyroscope is? They're kind of an old school kind of toy. It's pretty much like a top. Hope you're well. I'm super well. Thank you for asking. Hope you are as well. Yeah, Moon's in Germany, I believe. How have you been? I hope everything's been good. But gyroscopes have fascinated me since I was a child. I used to have one when I was a kid. Yes, in basics. Right, Matt, exactly. And they're so these are super inexpensive gyroscopes, but it's fascinating how they'll be stable. There's no bearings in these things. I got some cheapies because I wanted to destroy them. So we'll get to these later on, but I was thinking it'd be fun to maybe weld a couple in series, and when you pull the string, they're reversing. So you notice that when it's spinning, it wants to, the friction of the gyroscope passing on these little axles is just enough to kind of get this thing spinning. How fun would it be if they're opposing from each other? Would the gyroscope fall over? That I don't know. So I'm excited to test a couple things. Oh, and Moons, yes, in Germany things have been good. Yeah, that's great. Trying to find a job, exhausted though. Oh, job hunting, I couldn't imagine. I feel very grateful that I know what I'll be doing for the rest of my life. And I think that's a huge luxury that I rarely, appreciate. So good luck to you in the job search. Cheers. My goodness. It's gotta be tough. Well, I remember definitely a time in life where I was a laborer and I was jumping from job to job. That was not easy. What do we have here? I was wondering, from the point of view of a blacksmith, how often do you clean your workshop? I used to every day, because there's nothing like coming into a clean workspace. I have really fallen off that wagon as of late. Because it's just gonna get dirty again. But no, I definitely try to clean it as much as possible. It usually gets really filthy towards the end of a commission. I don't know. I'm just so tired of what I'm doing. And I'm just I just got to get this thing done, get it out of the shop so that I can get on to the next thing. But there's a great sensation after you clean your workspace that you're all of a sudden revitalized with all this new energy. You're just oh, thank God. I was stumbling over that damn thing back there forever. I don't know if you guys experienced the same thing. Oh, isn't it a good mug? I found this at a thrift store. Yeah, it's my favorite. Terrific. Oh, I love these little Sunday chats because I don't know. If COVID taught us anything, it's just how this is actually a subject we covered today on Tea Time, and just how important community is. Because things can get lonely. It's a very lonely time, during lockdowns and things like that. It's very difficult. We're very social creatures. And it's hard to go without people. So even if this is just a little bit of that, a little taste of it, hi Grace. Oh, I hope you're feeling better. I loved your beery sweater. I still can't believe you had that on. That's awesome. Max, have you ever made a padlock? No, I've made strong boxes, different types of fun, like kind of old school locks. Definitely, something you could really tamper with and like get open. But a padlock, no. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine why not. I just haven't. I usually I just build the things that I'm commissioned to build, but people have been reaching out and they want me to challenge the lock picking lawyer. So, would you guys be interested in a little collaboration? Like, I'd build it and then I'd contact him and then send it to him and see what he can do. I think that'd be a blast. Oh, gyroscopes are just the coolest darn things. But okay, so I have another thought. I have another thought to do with gyroscopes because it's pretty much a battery of mass. We need to talk. I have a lot of cool one. Ooh, for your whiskey cabinet, heck yeah. Because it'd be fun to make it so utterly and ridiculously complex, something that will just be an impossible thing, and see what he can do. I'm sure he'd do an amazing job at it. Yeah, gyroscopes are amazing. But this is only, like for instance, let me grab something real quick. So I bought a whole bunch of them, but I bought them to be destroyed, so I can weld them together and just see if one gyroscope is going clockwise, if the other one is welded to the vertices of it, if that was counterclockwise, would the thing fall over, right? Would it counteract the gyroscope effect? I don't know, and I want to know. So, but make hey, come on now, work with me, wheels. But this is an inch and an eighth plate. But also there's this stinking terrifying machine. So I did this thing a long time ago. There's a little peg dead center, and you get this thing cooking, and it spins for ever. It's terrifying how much centrifugal energy this amount of mass can take. And let's go bigger. I just want to start making cool, fun stuff, but you get this thing on a drill and just get it hauling butt, and it's so much fun. Scary and fun at the same time. Usually those things coexist. You're not having fun unless you're in a little bit of danger, am I right? But imagine having a wizard staff, right? And then you have an inline motor that charges it up, very similar to a starter motor in an engine, right? It can only go one direction. It goes bzzz, and then it releases, and then it's on, right? But imagine it'd be a heavy thing, but imagine having these big cylinders spinning so that you get the thing, a staff charged up, whoosh, and then you can just let it go, and the whole thing is just locked in space and time. It'd be almost like a real life immovable rod. It would be, I don't know, maybe I'm alone here, but I think that would be really cool. The funnest time I've had is camping cliff diving. Yeah, exactly. There's got to be a little sense of danger. Grace, right? I don't know. I think it'd be really fun. I'm thinking about using, bear with me. So, don't try any of this at home, dang it. But these die grinders are amazing, and they spin at oh my gosh, what are the RPMs? 25,000 RPMs. Quick. So I could gut that thing, terrafunning. Grace, I'm writing it down. Terrafunning. It needs to be on a shirt. Yes, terrafunning. Love the creativity. You never seem to let a thought. Oh yeah, absolutely. You just got to dangerous RPMs. Exactly, dangerous, terrafunning RPMs. So get that stuff just absolutely cooking, and then release it, because there would be so much energy in that thing. But also, there's a lot of tools I have in mind. Turn the century style stuff where you'd get a flywheel going, and then you would have something that would grab onto it, and all of that stored energy, much like a battery, would just get cranked into something. Like you could do a hammer that way. You could do a brake, a chopping tool, like pretty much like a piranha machine would do that technology. Yeah, you guys get it. What is going on in here? Spider tea. Hey, how we doing? So we're having a cup of tea. We're having a conversation. We've created a new word, terrafunning. You know, pretty much capturing the through vernacular how usually when you're having fun, you're in some sense of danger. You know, my most fun times have been like when I'm just doing something absolutely hairball. You know, it's a good time. It's a great time. But yeah, I think there's so much just fun shenanigans can be done with really heavy weight done in like pretty much like a top or like imagine, God, I'm just getting flashes of ideas. Sorry, gang. But imagine like real life Beyblades, but make them 500 pounds. You know, have a slightly dished. I didn't play Beyblades. I missed that one. I think I may be a little bit too old for when that happened. No idea. But yeah, roller coasters. Bingo. Bingo. I don't like roller coasters. They scare the crap out of me. Right? It's weird. But as long as I'm in control of the danger, somehow that makes it different. Don't ask me. But I was literally about to say that, Matt. Yeah. So imagine these big motors that hang them from above. And you could treat it almost like battle bots, where you have like bulletproof glass around the thing, you have an audience, and then people just build crazy, crazy spinning machines. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm not a fan of roller coasters. I freak me out. Ooh, diesel mechanics right now, awesome. Giant engines are dangerous and scary. Yes, they are. Hey, aloha. Very cool. Man. Robot wars with the electronics. Yeah, they just spin at dangerously fast speeds. What would be some of the weapons, you know, like honestly, you don't want to reach out too far, right? Because then it would have more leverage against you, but it would be faster. There's so much science that would go into it because you'd want it very massive, but relatively compact for defense, and if you're offensive, you'd make it larger. Hypnotodisc. That's a cool band name. Do you remember battling Top's game? Yeah. That's exactly what we're talking about. Bingo. I get this. Totally. Oh, and it's also very fun in that we're being like an uncle, you know, because you know, the parents' job is being very responsible. I think it's my job as an uncle to make things a little hairball, you know? Yeah, sure, we could do fireworks, but you know, now there's a new rule. You got to jump through the sparks and all that stuff. Actually, I did that not this year, but last year, and it was during a massive rainstorm, and I ended up slipping and crashed and burned right on one of those big old like popping fountains, right in front of all my nieces and nephews, and I was totally humiliated. But they got a good laugh out of it, and I'm sure it'll be a forever memory watching Uncle Max totally biff it on top of fireworks. Oh, from Robot Wars UK. Lou, I didn't know. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it'd be pretty much like that, but it'd just be all by like centrifugal force and then storing energy. See, I think it would actually be very fascinating watching like a 500-pound or 1,000-pound top moving, battling it out, is because it's also about longevity. You know, putting your mass where it counts. You know, because instantly I want to like see like flails flying everywhere, but that would slow you down. It's a marathon, you know, not a sprint. I don't know, unless you can really whack them over, but I don't know. This would be fascinating. God, there would be just scraps of iron flying from those things like crazy. Oh. But anyways, terrafunning. Grace, I'll have to remember that. But anyways, what are you guys doing? Flamethrowers, of course, there's gotta be fire. Yeah, even if it did nothing, it would just be cool. And if it was spinning at 25,000 RPMs, it would just be an inferno. You wouldn't even see where the fire's coming from. It would just be a blur. Yeah, 100. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, uncles and grandpas are the ones to make it dangerous for sure. Oh, but what are you guys working on? What kind of project do you have in your lives? The Valhalla doors. So we'll be getting to them right after I'm done with this tree. Next up is that window, the astronomical, beautiful window that's gonna be mostly glass and stained glass, bunch of iron, and it'll be a functioning clock that you'll be behind. Watering plants. Ooh, thank you for reminding me, my pumpkin patch is still in irrigation. I think I need to heal my soil. My soil, I think, has just been drained of a lot of like nutrients. Does that ever happen to you guys? The other green thumbs out there? Ooh, a Mac bust. That's awesome. Knitting. Oh. Broken arm. No. I'm so sorry. How'd you break your arm? Was it something fun? Good morning. Yes. Oh, my Sunday so far has been terrific. It's been great. Yeah, we had tea time with all the lovely patrons. Met a new one, Mike. Just great. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. No, really. What? Oh, Stairway to Heaven. Nice. Got my dad's keepsake going good. Oh, baby calf. How's the forging going? Things are going well. Like right now, I just got an absolute mountain of branches, just piles and piles of branches going, get ready for the tree. And I have an update coming for you very soon, which I'm really excited to share with you all. Repurposing dagger blade into a throwing knife. Very cool. Yeah, Matt, that's fantastic. Throwing knives are a blast. Just such a blast. Very cool. It might be worth annealing the thing, because they go through a lot of shock, especially if they like land flat against your target. And they can break pretty easily. Word of the wise. I'm sure you've thought about it already. Making a tender copper dragon over here. Oh, Grace. If you don't know Grace's work, they're amazing. Very cool. Hey, from Sweden. Oh, Jerry, that's so cool. See, the point has been proven. It's always up to the uncles to either bring over some type of death machine or, give a challenging dare for the kids. Oh, the songbirds are lively today. Great. A lot of the babies have hatched since. Hey, any advice building a homebrew forge? Oh, that's a great question. Fire bricks are your friend. You don't need to get into some fancy mortar work. You don't need to get into the cloth as much. You can literally build a forge out of stacked fire bricks, and you can get fire bricks from just about any especially home and garden place. Because you can get them a lot cheaper there because people use them for outdoor fire pits for a lot of times. Those work excellent. I highly suggest fireplace, fire bricks because you can get them for a lot cheaper than if it was fireplace fire bricks, if that makes any sense. I guess just a marketing thing, who knows? But it's pretty much the same thing. I like black because they always kind of turn black later on anyways. But when it comes to building your blower, right? I'm assuming you're talking gas. Building the blower, there's a bunch of really good YouTube videos on how to do that. Yeah, it's a piece of cake. You could do it. It's it's a day project. Piece of cake. It just takes some plumbing and some fire bricks, and you got yourself a forge. Now, when it comes to coal forging, you just need a bit of a surface, a brake drum forge. Yeah, fire bricks. Oh yeah, get fire bricks. Grace. Uh, when it comes to a coal forge, you can just take a brake drum. Like in my apprenticeship, I've taught this lesson before and showed them step by step how to do that. But honestly, between like a hair dryer, some dryer vent hose, and a brake drum, you can very easily make yourself a forge. It's it's not very complicated. That's the beauty about this trade is, sure, you can make it to where it's everything's really nice and well built. Placebo's here, yay! But you could also go very barbaric and make it with make the forge out of anything you got. You got to think that there was times where there was just a campfire with holes drilled underneath it, or with bladder bellows. That little kid would just be, and they'd be forging with rocks. It's not as complicated as a lot of people try to make it. Just get in there, get some metal out somehow, and and hit it. See what happens. If you like it, there's an infinite trajectory that you could go. Taking it to the next level. That's one of the reasons when people are starting to get into the trade, I tell them that don't overinvest. Don't, just try to be very frugal, get by with what you have, and just see if you like moving hot steel, because you don't know if you like it or not at the beginning. But once you do like it, and 90% of the people do, then you can start working your way up. Clay and wood, ash, it's very good, old school. Yeah, totally, Matt, 100%. Oh, that's great. Okay, I've recently started this series, The Unpredicted Party. Oh, to see what the fuss was about, and I'm absolutely loving the banter between the characters. Oh, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. Oh my gosh. That means so much to me. It's been a blast. I've never done anything like that before. So I'm very grateful for the fellow nerd community to welcome me in. But the Unpredicted Party has been a true treasure. And where are you at in the season? Where are you at? Because we're on episode gosh, I don't even know where we're at right now. I paused my re-listening to the Unpredicted Party to join the live. Oh, that's excellent. Gas or coke forge? Oh, that's an excellent question. I really they're both totally different things, one I love the convenience of. I can have episode 11. Oh, buckle up. It only gets better, buddy. So what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I love propane for the convenience. I could have 4 pieces of iron in there just soaking, and when I take one out, I put the next one in. I take the next one out. I can just forge, just completely wide open, and I love that. But with coal, I like coal because I have so much control, and I'm able to forge so much bigger material. The amount of time it takes for me to heat up a 2-inch bar, solid bar, takes the coal no time, where, I'll be having it soaking in my propane forge for a good, 20 minutes until it's really ready. I mean, you can get it orange pretty quick, but when it's really starts to sweat, you're shedding mill scale, it's soaked to the core. It takes a lot more time with the propane forge. I like them for 2 different reasons. They're just, they're 2 different gears. Have you done Damascus projects? Oh, so back in high school, or right out of high school, when I was in my teens, I did mountains of Damascus by hand. That was before, way before Forest and Fire ever existed, way before blacksmithing ever became a hobby again. It was a dead trade back then. And it was hard because no one knew what went into it. And that was before social media. So I got out of Damascus blades because I wasn't able to build a career off it. But also I'd never had presses or auto hammers or anything like that. It was always by hand. And I was doing huge, like 5-pound kukris and things like that, all by hand, folding and folding and folding. And it was, yeah. So I got out of that a while ago. But the proudest blade I ever did of Damascus was I don't remember how many layers it was, but it's beautiful. But it's a mosaic blacksmith chef knife for the lead art director of DreamWorks back a long time ago. And that was the last one. After that, I just dusted my hands off because then it was starting to get popular and people were just doing it with auto hammers. And I was like, okay, I did it, I did a lot of them, but I dusted my hands and I started getting a bigger artwork. Yeah, and then I just followed where the commissions were coming from, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like when you're just a sole proprietor, you're very much at the mercy of your clientele. So I started to get more into windows, doors, and light fixtures because that's what my clientele wanted. Yeah. But I definitely still have a fondness for Damascus, of course. Actually, one of my favorites these days is Mukunagane. And then Grace, we were talking about Mukunagane at some point. Folding like metals, much like nickel and copper together for really beautiful designs. To make a new door for my bed. Oh yeah. There's a lot of engineering that goes with those damn doors. Yeah, so I wish you all the luck in the world because there's a lot to it. Build lots of jigs, get it right before figure it out with wood and templates and stuff like that, and then build it out of steel. Yes, we were. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's honestly, it's not that. You need a little more flame. You need more heat to sweat those two together. But it is so rewarding. Folding those two together is the coolest thing. I'll have to do on my apprenticeship, I'll have to do a video about Mukunagane. It's just so neat. It's very neat. And what I like about it, unlike, ferrous Damascus, you don't have to ever treat it for rust or anything like that. It's a totally inert, ready to go material. Oh, hello. Oh, it's just so good to hang out and talk with you guys. Yes, please, a tutorial. Yeah, Dion, of course I will. How do you maintain your anvils? Oh, that's a good question. So it's actually one of the reasons I like to always be in, trying to get in my workshop, forging every day. You can oil them, you can sand them, but I like to make sure that if my anvil's surfaces start rusting a lot, I know I'm not working enough. So I got to get back into the forge, get some hot steel moving. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you're always kind of outrunning rust. But I don't fuss over it too much because after an hour of forging, you got this surface pretty much polished up just by the impacts, all that good stuff. I feel like I'm missing comments. Oh, it was good to see you. Thanks for staying, stopping in, Spider T. That's why mine's rusting. Yeah, hey, you'll get there, D. Don't you worry about a damn thing. You'll get back to it. I mean, they're definitely not going anywhere. It would take a millennia to rust an anvil to nothing. Speaking of which, I need to get this Peter Wright refurbished, and I need to do a lot more research on that thing. That was my great uncle's, and I'm really excited to. There's got to be a lot of fill. It looks like someone took a cutting torch to the damn thing. Boy, if I can give me 5 minutes with that guy. No open fire. Well, we'll have to figure it out. Well, maybe with the induction forge, or we'll get there. Even candles, my goodness. WD-40 white spray, yeah. A little bit of fish oil. I never knew, but yeah, WD-40 is, who cuts on the anvil? I know, but yeah, there's the feathering. Someone was jacking around. But it's got to be old, because there's a lot of outdated stuff on it, and it still says England on it. We'll see. So stay tuned for that whole adventure because I need to go down and get the power hammer that's down there. There's a couple of drill presses, a lathe. I haven't started working on the new shop yet, so I don't know where this is all gonna go. So who knows? I'm just gonna have to store it and maybe cover it in a tarp or something. And look who has graced us with his presence. Come here, buddy. Mr. Copper Dog. Come here, buddy. Oh, there he is. Here we go. Do you know what? Oh, yeah. Well, so this actually, it's not a very loud anvil. Also, oh, Mr. Copper Dog. Oh, we got the spot. Oh, oh. But yeah, I mean, it's just, people try to take rings out of anvils, which is fine. I could totally understand you don't want to hear that all day. I don't mind it as much, but as you listen to my anvil, so this anvil rings like crazy. But when and also careful hitting your anvil dry. Dry meaning nothing, it's just a hammer on an anvil. Try to do that as least as you possibly can. But getting it structured, like getting it held down, helps a ton. Oh God, Copper came over and just ripped a big old fart. Dude. Anyways, what were we talking about? God, my eyes are watering. What the hell was I talking about? Ooh, but getting it held down helps a ton with a ring. Chains work. Just think about anything that you're like, yeah, gas mask, no kidding. Get my respirator out. But, it's like putting your hands on the outside of a bell. Same principle. It's resonance. So if you're able to hold that thing down somehow, that helps a ton. So you're actually here. Let me see if I can show you. See these like stirrup like things that I forged? Gosh, this is hard. There you are. Stirrup like objects that I have, down on my stump. Those, when I cinched those things down, took the ring right out of my anvil. And it's great because it's just as hard. The rebound is, fantastic. But yeah, that's the best way that I can think of to take a ring out, because it's also utilitarian, and also you don't have a big sloppy chain hanging where you're not worried about the magnets flying off of the thing. But yeah, like a magnet, like on the back of the heel of your anvil can work. There's a lot of things you can do. Actually, I got some anvil related content coming for you guys here pretty quick, actually, that I'm pretty excited about. I've been wanting to research a very affordable anvil for beginners, people wanting to get into the trades, because there's such a big difference with working on an anvil versus, some railroad iron or some, or just like the little shelf on a vise. Some people use that. Like there's nothing will replace an anvil. So I was looking at different alternatives. And I think I found some, and I'm going to put them to the test. So look forward to that video. Because I want to, when people ask me, like, what tools would you recommend? I want to give them an answer. I'm tired of not having an answer because, like, yeah, sure, you can take, not everyone has a 20-pound hammer laying around that you can, put in a vise and then use that as an anvil. Not everyone has that. So, trying to find a product that is good, or at least decent enough to start out on, has been a challenge. So I'm excited to offer that to people. And then the next up would be different forges. But I think there's definitely some on Amazon that will do the trick. Oh, I'm missing stuff. Yeah, Grace, I got you. And they're ridiculously reasonable, like ridiculously. So I'm really curious to see how they hold up. Yeah, and they're really not bad. I'm like kind of shocked. And they come in like a wide range of sizes. I mean, I feel like I'm just teasing you guys. Just teasing, because I've seen them out all over the place, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh yeah. Oh, for small stuff, Jason, 100%. Absolutely. They're great. Also, if it's like long enough, they're great for flattening, getting things straight. Oh yeah, forklift material works great, absolutely. Especially if you're like hammering down all of that material. You know what I mean? Because you want as much material that's resisting. If you hit, let's see here. Yes. I don't know if this would translate well. Yeah. So, like if you were hitting something like this, hammering against something like that, it moves a lot. But if you're hammering against all of this material, there's no way you're ever going to move it. And that's why when people have like big chunks of, they have access to big chunks of iron around, you hammer against something like long ways like that, they actually make exquisite anvils. I actually have a striker anvil that I made out of an old axle. Let's do that same principle. Actually, here, let me show you. Let me just grab a hold of you. Hold on. Don't get dizzy on me. Yeah, this is my striker's anvil, so it's low enough to where someone's swinging a two-handed hammer. It's right where you want it to be, and you're hammering against all of that material. And man, it really works great. And then I could just be kind of in a seated position with the hot material, and then just guiding the strikers. But that works really well. When you think about the physics of it, right? Because you're trying to move and compress all of that material, and it's not going to happen. Because the whole reason for an anvil is, as your hammer comes down for a strike, the anvil reflects all of that back up. So you're doing twice the amount of work for half the amount of energy. If that makes any sense. Do I know who invented anvils? No idea. Probably happened a long time ago. It's probably the first person to bang an iron bloom on a rock. But maybe the modern anvil, it's probably worth a Google search. Excuse me, coughing on my teeth. Cavemen, yeah, 100%. Sure is some Neanderthal out there just be like, hey, when I hit this, things happen. Do you ever see those rocks when you hit it on another rock, it rings like a bell? Those things are so cool. There was one rock on the ranch I grew up on that did something very similar to that. And it was the trippiest thing. It just was wild. I don't know. I've always had a fondness for resonance. Do you forge objects with mineral powder? No, but I do have some mineral powder though. It was, those like coating machines. A friend of mine had a bunch of it and he didn't know what to do with it. And he was like, I'll bring it to Max. But no, I have not. But resonance. So for instance, like, you guys know nodes, yeah? Nodes, like, okay, you have like a wind chime, right? And then like usually the wind chime is hanging from a very specific point where those waves, those sound waves, come around, and where it's neutral is where you hang something. But you can feel it when you hold onto it, just a bar of steel, and you can hold it in different places to get that note. And where it doesn't vibrate as bad, you're in a node. And I nerd out on that stuff all the time. Because then you get some really cool sounds from it. Oh, not there. But I just love resonance so much. And especially when it comes to rings and cups. Especially cups, because they ring like a bell. Like, oh. You guys got me turned up. Okay. There's just something about when you look how god awful that is. But when you forge a bowl, something wonderful happens. Let's see if it'll do it. Now it has a good ring to it, but it's not perfect. There's two tones. They're very close together, and you hear that wom, 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 wom. So, have you ever tuned a guitar? Right? When you're tuning a guitar, you play two notes, the same note, And then the closer they get together, they'll vibrate. They're already vibrating, right? That's what sound is. But there'll be an overtone of this like wah, 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 and then it'll stop when it's perfect. And the fact that there is a discordant sound means that it's not perfect. But I get so nerdy when it comes to sound and things like that. So when we get back to the Valhalla doors, I'm gonna have huge chimes. We're talking every bit of 15-foot tall, like giant chimes, so that when it's fully open and you're able to or locked, very much like the little lock that locks the man door into the giant doors. It'll be just this almost concussive wall of sound when it's locked and unlocked, as like a welcoming chime. Like you just entered Erebor or something like that. Wouldn't that be splendid? I cannot wait. And I want it deep. I want it to just sound like, somewhere you came into somewhere royal. We got this bird just giving us a little love song. And also, we couldn't ask for a more beautiful day. I want to show you this bird, but I'm afraid if I grab my phone and show it and hold it up, it'll run away. But anyways, make sure I'm not missing any comments and things. Oh, you guys are being, it's talking about a geode. I once found a geode of flint. Light purple, so pretty. Oh, that's incredible. Geodes are fantastic. Minerals are fantastic. I remember being in 7th grade in Mrs. Buckles' class at Flamson, middle school. I'll never forget it because I was a bad student. But now I'm just like, gosh, I wish I was paying attention because minerals are fascinating in the way they grow and they construct, and metals do the same thing. There's a lattice. There's a beautiful lattice of crystalline forms, very much like bismuth. Oh my gosh, bismuth. Let's see. Yeah, so this is just some scrap of bismuth, but look at the beautiful crystalline forms, and it's all dusty and I don't know. But I have so much planned for bismuth, especially if one day I could start getting into building sculpture just from my mind. Oh my God. Bismuth is magic. Absolute pure magic. And it's beautiful. That would be a fun scale. To scale up for D&D. Ooh, yeah. Absolutely. Just an entire city made of bismuth. Because it already looks like Mayan ruins, how angular. Imagine a city like that with right angles, city streets, airships connecting one to the other with bridges and things like that. Oh my God, it'd be amazing. Ooh, obsidian. Obsidian would be cool. I'd love to do the rainbow obsidian. Somehow get a disc of it and then do lighting behind it. Oh, I think it'd just be tremendous. About living minerals. One day I found a cherry amber chunk. No kidding. Oh man, forged object. Of course. Anything that is beautiful can accompany forge work. Either it be jewelry, an amulet, because I love to build things that look like they came right out of D&D. Something that looks like it, I don't know. It looks like a magical artifact. It's not just Grace, I think I know you understand this, but it's not just your normal jewelry that we're familiar with. It seems like not of this time nor era. It is the sharpest natural edge. Yeah, I guess there's obsidian scalpels for surgeons. Crazy. That doesn't belong. See, that's what I'm talking about. Because I think a lot of us feel the same way, that we just don't belong in this era or time or what have you. And it's cool to find adornments that match that feeling. Actually, I have a torque. Oh, there's a bird in my tree right now, and I love it. Oh, that makes me so happy. But you know, to where like what you wear feels right to who you are. And I've never like worn things that feel like me, you know? I guess we're just not boring. But I have a torque to build soon that I'm really excited for. I'll share, maybe I'll share the process, at least a short. But you know, forged aluminum is really cool stuff, and you can make something that looks like it should weigh several pounds, just like light as a feather. So it looks like you're wearing this huge iron torque, but it's delicate and light. How the leaves come along? Haven't started the leaves actually. I'm still working on piles and piles of branches. Yeah, everyone here is secretly from Middle Earth. I like that. That's perfect. Oh, I love this. This community is the coolest thing. It's just so neat, you know. I feel very grateful. I don't know how we did it, but we're here, and I'm very grateful for you all. And honestly, on that note, I need to get back to work, but also you guys need to get back to your beautiful lives. The leaves need home. I know. We'll get there shortly. We'll get there. I promise. You found your tribe. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely, you have. And like I said, on that note, I'm excited for you to get back to your beautiful Sunday, whatever's left of it. Hope you make the best of it, either by getting some good rest or by firing into some passion of yours. You know, I don't know which I'm going to do just yet. I think I'm going to do a little bit of both. Toodles. Placebo, thanks for stopping in. Thank you all for hanging out with me. But as always, my friends, love you to death. Don't forget to love each other and do something kind for someone today, all right? Take care. Have an excellent, excellent Sunday. Bye-bye.